anyways, I don't have anything else intelligent to say about this, so maybe it's a good time to just move on to history and mythology, because it seems like your appreciation, or at least knowledge for history, informs your opinions about a lot of things. Like this gender topic, you happen to know things about aristocracy and makeup and Egyptians. So at what point did you start becoming interested in that, and what happened? Why are you such a freak, Chris?
Right. That's really hard to explain. History has like always been one of my better subjects. I thrived in high school in the history classes, and then went for C's and everything else. I went to college undeclared with literally no idea. At the time, I thought I should become a pastor, because being raised in the church and being told that, like, be the best Christian you can be, in my head it was like, okay, well, the best you can achieve as a Christian is to become a pastor.
Precisely.
You know. And back then I wasn't at a charismatic church, so I didn't know about worship leaders and how there's so much less work involved.
Didn't know there were actually 3 options.
Right. Yeah. So I really bounced around between realizing I didn't want to be a pastor, but then kind of working my way into the business stuff. But by then, my like difficulties in college had put me way behind in ever getting into like actual business administration. And so as I like lingered on going to school part-time, there was the point where my employer said, hey, get a college degree so we can put it on the website. Figure out how many more classes you need. You've been going to school for 15 years. You should be close to something.
15 years. What employer was that?
This was, at the time, it was Reif and Associates.
Okay.
It no longer exists. But I was, and I was doing financial modeling. But I go in, see an advisor, and I say, what am I closest to? Like, what do I have what degree can I get with the fewest more remaining classes?
Right.
And they punch it in, and it's history. I was never pursuing a history degree, but every time I had a gap that I needed to fill, I just fill it with a history class. I think the runner-up on that was philosophy, but that's just because they were really easy classes.
Yeah.
But like any spare moment, anything, I was always pulling in a history class, and that's when I finally realized, I was like, oh, okay, well, this has actually just been running around in my subconscious this entire time anyway. So yeah, I was like, I told them, I'm like, yeah, I'm 3 classes away from a history degree. They're like, that's fine.
Nice. Oh, well, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
The realization, maybe not with the intention of using it, but
right.
That was just the moment that you realized you were
that it had really been just hiding back in the back of my head the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and so a lot of your knowledge also came from those classes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only took 1 history class in college, and it was good because in high school all you learn about is like American and European history,
right?
And that is it. And you, like all the, I don't know, like the weird American narrative version of it, I guess. I don't know. I feel like now I don't even know any history.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on, like, if you still celebrate Columbus Day, then it means you don't have a proper understanding of history. But yeah, and that was a weird one for me. Going to a Christian school, there, in high school, it was the 48 out of 52 of the founding fathers were all Christians, and you get to college and it's 46 out of 52 of the founding fathers owned slaves, and a variety of the major founding fathers also probably had non-consensual sex with their slaves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a whole bunch of that in college, that getting knocked, the various understandings that we had been taught just got knocked down one after the other.
What did that do towards your perception of mankind? Because I feel like that's got to change something, whether you feel like your ancestry is people or monsters.
I think what I picked up on that I feel like not enough people realize today is that they were politicians. Like, the greatest thing I've learned from my understanding of history is when we start going, well, everything's just going straight downhill. You know, why can't we get back to how it was in the 50s, or why can't we get back to, you know, when the founding fathers, you know, put our nation together. You know, like. But now I miss the fire. Yeah, they're like the horrible sort of political fighting we have now. You know, they had that too.
Yeah, that's.
You know,
But also they had duels.
oh, they literally. I couldn't tell you the particular members, but there were fistfights in the Senate. Like, we don't have that anymore.
Right.
You know, we could use some, but. Yeah. That's
I don't know if we could. I mean, no, I'm against that, and it is amazing that the fabric of civility hung on in some cases, you know, or it does hang on. Like, the most we have now is that guy who shouted, "You lie," you know,
or all at the funeral for Justice Ginsburg.
Ooh, what happened?
Oh, Trump showed up and. People started chanting, vote him out, vote him out. But yeah, I mean, he's put himself in a position where that's the likely response from his opposition, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, Teddy Roosevelt was out campaigning and he got shot. And still gave the speech.
And still gave the speech?
Yeah.
Wow. Good job. Okay.